In the early 19th century, on the frontier of Tennessee, in a small and humble town called Adams, the Bell family moved to a quiet farm along the Red River. The land was vast, filled with fertile fields, and the family hoped to settle into a peaceful life. John Bell, the patriarch, had made a living as a farmer, and along with his wife Lucy and their children, they built their home far from the troubles of the world. At first, the Bells thrived. Their farm was successful, their neighbors kind, and the area seemingly blessed. But unknown to them, an evil had already taken root beneath the soil. It began quietly, almost unnoticeable at first, as strange noises echoed through the house. At night, the family would hear faint whispers, too soft to be understood. Sometimes it sounded like someone was walking across the floor, though no one was there. It wasn't long before the disturbances escalated. Scratching noises began coming from the walls, like the claws of some unseen animal trying to break through. Furniture moved on its own. Doors opened and closed without a touch. The children, especially Betsy Bell, the youngest daughter, would wake up in the night screaming, claiming something had pulled her hair or slapped her across the face. What began as a mere nuisance soon turned into a nightly terror. Neighbors were called to witness the events, but no one could explain what was happening. Word spread through Adams about the Bell family and their mysterious haunting. Some claimed it was the work of witches, others believed it to be the restless spirit of a dead soul. But the Bell family had their suspicions. They believed that the spirit haunting them was none other than Kate Batts, a local woman whom John Bell had wronged years before. The spirit began to make its presence known more clearly. It was no longer content with strange noises and physical torment. It started speaking. At first, the voice was faint and low, just above a whisper. But over time, it grew stronger, clearer, and much more menacing. The voice introduced itself as Kate Batts, or rather, the spirit of Kate. She had been wronged, she said, and she had come to seek her revenge on John Bell and his family. The Bell Witch, as it came to be called, particularly targeted John and Betsy, tormenting them in ways that left the family helpless. Night after night, John Bell would hear the spirit calling his name, taunting him, reminding him of her presence. The attacks on Betsy grew worse, with the spirit slapping, pinching, and pulling her hair relentlessly. The Bell family tried everything to rid themselves of the witch. They prayed, they tried to exorcise the spirit, but nothing worked. The Bell Witch seemed to grow stronger with each attempt to drive her away. The haunting grew so infamous that it attracted the attention of many. One of the most notable visitors was Andrew Jackson, who would later become the President of the United States. Jackson had heard the tales of the Bell Witch and was determined to see the phenomenon for himself. With a small group of men, he traveled to the Bell home. As they approached the property, Jackson's wagon suddenly stopped. No matter how hard the horses pulled, the wagon refused to move. Jackson, known for his bravery, declared that it must be the work of the Bell Witch. At that moment, the air grew thick, and the disembodied voice of the witch rang out, mocking the men. After a few terrifying incidents, Jackson and his men were forced to leave, convinced that the stories were true. As the years went on, the torment of the Bell family only intensified. John Bell's health began to decline, and the witch made it clear that she intended to see him dead. The constant harassment took its toll, and soon John became bedridden. The spirit delighted in his suffering, often whispering in his ear as he lay in pain, reminding him that the end was near. One morning, John Bell was found dead. A mysterious black liquid had been discovered near his bedside. The family found a vial containing the liquid and gave it to the cat. Within moments, the cat died, confirming their worst fears. It had been the witch's doing. As the family mourned John's death, the witch laughed and celebrated. She claimed victory, saying she had finally completed her mission of revenge. Even after John Bell's death, the witch lingered, tormenting the family for years. She made it clear that her hatred for John would extend beyond his death, and though her visits became less frequent, her presence was always felt. To this day, the tale of the Bell Witch endures. The land where the Bell Farm once stood is said to still be haunted by the vengeful spirit. Visitors have reported strange occurrences, eerie sounds, and even sightings of ghostly apparitions. The legend of the Bell Witch has become one of America's most famous hauntings, a chilling reminder of the power of the supernatural and the wrath of a spirit scorned. Though many have tried to explain the events at the Bell Farm, no one can say for sure what truly happened. Was it the spirit of Kate Batts, seeking revenge from beyond the grave? Or was it something darker, something older that preyed on the fear of the Bell family? Perhaps the Bell Witch still lingers, watching from the shadows, waiting for her next victim.